Ever wondered why Thomas Shelby, the notorious gangster from Birmingham, wears that razor-sharp cap? Could it be more than just a fashion statement? Our story begins in the rough-and-tumble streets of Small Heath, Birmingham, around the turn of the 20th century. Thomas Shelby, a name that would go on to strike fear in the hearts of many, was born into a life of poverty and hardship. Raised by a gypsy family, the Shelbys, he grew up with 4 siblings in a world where survival was the only thing that mattered. As a young lad, Thomas showed signs of being different. He was smarter, more cunning, and had an eye for opportunities. This was a boy who, despite his circumstances, dared to dream of a life beyond the grimy streets of Small Heath. But life had other plans for him. The Great War came along, and Thomas, like many young men of his time, was shipped off to the battlefields of France. He returned a decorated war hero, but the horrors of the trenches had changed him. He was no longer the hopeful boy from Small Heath. He was now a hardened man with a steely gaze and a razor-sharp mind. After the war, Thomas took control of the family business, the Peaky Blinders. With his strategic mind and ruthless tactics, he transformed a small-time street gang into a formidable criminal empire. He was a man who was both feared and respected in the underworld. But Thomas Shelby was more than just a gangster. He was a complex character with a sharp intellect and a keen sense of business. He had a vision for the Peaky Blinders, a vision that saw them move from the back streets of Birmingham to the corridors of power. He was a man of contradictions. On one hand, he was a ruthless gangster who wouldn't hesitate to use violence to get what he wanted. On the other hand, he was a loving brother and a caring uncle, a man who would go to any lengths to protect his family. Despite his hardened exterior, Thomas had a soft spot for those he cared about. His love for Grace, his wife, showed a side of him that was rarely seen. It was a side that was vulnerable, emotional, and deeply human. So who was Thomas Shelby? He was a war hero, a gangster, a businessman, a brother, a husband, and a father. He was a man shaped by his circumstances and his experiences, a man who strived to rise above his origins and create a better life for himself and his family. In the end, the story of Thomas Shelby is a testament to the human spirit, a tale of resilience and determination, of ambition and grit. It is a reminder that even in the darkest of times, there is always a glimmer of hope, a chance to rise above and make a difference. So, the next time you see Thomas Shelby with his razor-sharp cap, remember, it's not just a fashion statement, it's a symbol of his journey. A journey from the back streets of Birmingham to the top of the underworld. A journey of a man who dared to dream and had the courage to make those dreams a reality.